on the allergy program. Go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. Sitting with your spine tall, shoulders over your hips. Take your arm bones back so that you feel your chest lift a little and let your palms rest upward on your lap. Let your eyes softly close. And take a couple of deep breaths, noticing the rise and fall of your chest or stomach with each breath. And then settle into your natural breath. And still noticing your breath. And also noticing your ability to notice your breath. You consider each breath as a practice. So the yoga practice, Abhysa, means devoted practice. And the Yoga Sutras say that Abhysa cultivates the unfolding of consciousness. Each breath is a practice. Each movement of practice. Each moment an opportunity to observe and to reflect. Bringing that awareness into your practice today. Then you open your eyes. And then sit with your legs crossed at your shins. You go actually the other way, whatever way you're just going to cross the opposite way. Take your hands in front of your knees. And as you inhale your breath, just notice your spine going up a little bit. As you exhale, shoulders dropping down a little bit. We're going to move into a twist today, and doing so, moving with awareness from the pelvis. So take your right hand to your left knee and your left hand behind you, just a little twist here. But start with an in-breath with your spine left. And as you exhale, bring your awareness to your top of your right hip and just turn it a little bit to the left. And let the spine just receive that twist. And then as you inhale, lift the whole spine. Your exhale, come back to the center. And bring your hands the other way. Start with an in-breath, feel the spine lift here. And as you exhale your breath, again, just allow your body, starting with your left hip, to turn to the right. Take a deep in breath here, feel that lift in your spine. Good, and then exhale and come back to the front. Now come up to standing. Just have 2 blocks at the top of your mat. Set up in a tall position for now. And come to standing with your feet just hip distance and parallel at the first. Reach the fingers down, the heart up, rotate your upper arms out. Inhale, take your arms up so your fingertips touch. And exhale, bring the hands back down. Do that 2 more times on your breath with your awareness and your ability to notice and observe your body and your breath working together as you do. Just have an intention for that awareness through this whole practice. And then your hands down, and take your right foot just a half step in front of your left. Press both heels down, feet are still parallel. And then inhale, bring your arms up. Take hold of that right wrist with your left hand, press up, and exhale, shift your hip to the right and over to the left. Observe the space above that right hip and take a deep in breath here into your sideways. Exhale, stand. And then set that right foot back and left foot forward. Inhale both arms up with the left wrist now, press the palm. And exhale, come over to the side, shift your left hip left, notice the space above your left hip bone. And then inhale, come and exhale, release. And stand now with both feet parallel facing your blocks. The hip distance apart, just take your heels out a little bit, especially if you tense, stand with your toes in. Take the arm bones back with one another. Inhale the arms up with your palms facing, thumbs back, take the arm bones back. Inhale, lift up through the pinky finger, and just notice how that gives a little more length in the sides of your waist. Exhale to the heart center. Take your hands onto your blocks, notice your pelvis here. So is your low back rounding towards the ceiling? If so, bend your knees, press into your heels, take the top of your thigh bones back, and feel your pelvis shifting now, so the front rim of the pelvis just kind of points in the direction of your hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine here. Exhale, fold over from the hip crease, let your elbows soften, let your head hang down. And then inhale, re-extend the spine. So feel the spine kind of evolving out of the pelvis. In fact, bend your knees even if you don't feel like you need to. Press your heels with your knees bent. Tip the pelvis a little more forward towards your hands. Extend the spine long. Keeping your knees bent, exhale, fold your hand. And try that one more time. Inhale, lengthen, extend the spine long. And then exhale, this time as you fold in, take your blocks by the sides of the feet. Step your right foot back. And come into a left knee lunge with your knee over your ankle, the back leg straight. Your heart reaching forward so the whole spine lengthens. Drop your right knee almost to the floor, but not quite. Notice your hips go a little lower. Keep your hips where they are and reach the upper inner right thigh up to the ceiling to straighten the leg. Find length here in your spine. Then take your left hand to your left front of your hip and just invite that left hip back and feel your right hip, front of the right hip bone start to turn left. So come into that awareness of the pelvis turning, and then inhale, re-extend the spine, and then exhale, invite that left shoulder way back so the heart starts to curl up, and inhale the left arm up. Find your breath here. As you inhale the breath, just notice the spine lengthening. As you exhale, the top arm bone goes back, the upper spine twists. Lower that left hand down. Take one hand to each block. Step your left foot back, come into a plank pose with your hips a little high on purpose at first. Engage your low belly. And then lower your hips a little, reach the heels back and find length here in your spine. So the whole spine coming out of the pelvis now is just extending long through the crown of your head. Take a deep in breath here. Exhale, drop to your knees, take your knees wide, big toes touch, just lift your blocks up to the side. And come into child pose, pressing the palms, take the hips back. Knees are nice and wide apart. And then let your forearms rest and let your forehead rest. Find a deep low belly breath here. And feel the space right inside of your hip bones. As you inhale your breath, see can you expand breath into that space. And as you exhale your breath, just feel your hips sink down a little more deeply. Good. Inhale, come on up to all fours now. Take your knees together behind your hips, uncurl your toes. Press the toenail side of your foot down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale the breath, slowly lower to the floor. Anchor the tops of the feet. Lift your tailbone. Take your thumbs mid-chest, coil the elbows back. Inhale, come into a low cobra. And then exhale, come down. Two more times. Notice here the stability of the pelvis, the feet pressing down, the tailbone lifting. And then as you take the elbows in and inhale, lift up. The upper back is like a little back bend. Just a little more. Good. Exhale, come down. So keep that stability of the pelvis, elbows in, come up on the top. Good, exhale and lower down. Let your toes come back to hands and knees. Keep the finger pads, knuckle pads glued to the mat. Lift your hips up and roll on the balls of the feet back to come to down facing dog. Let your toes get light. Notice the position of your pelvis here. So again, if you feel any rounding at all in the low back, bend your knees. Get as much length as you can in the spine so the front tip of your hip bones points a little forward towards the floor. Take another line, bring in breath here. Deep exhale, reaching the upper inner thighs back. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, take your right foot forward. Come back with your hands on the blocks into a lunge position. Reach the heel back, reach the crown of your head forward. Once again, bend your left knee a little bit. Not quite to the floor. And then we'll do that and get you back. Try that one more time. And reach it back, take your right hand to the right hip crease and right back and coil the heart up. Good, and inhale, take that right arm. And exhale, take the shoulder blades deep in towards your chest. Find your breath. And find them all the way down. And then we're going to breathe and exhale. And then lower that hand down with one hand to each block again. Step your right foot back, come back into that high plank at first. Again, engage your low belly and then lower your hips in such a way that you're pointing the front tips of your hip bones towards the floor and you're drawing the spine out of the pelvis, lengthening the spine forward. Take a deep in breath here. Exhale, drop to your knees, big toes touch. Wash to the side, come back into child's pose. This time, claw your finger pads, lift your armpits up, lift your elbows up, but let your forehead rest. When you press the hands down, engage the arms and feel that length in your spine. And as you exhale and reach the hips back, do so in such a way that the front tips of your hip bones are pointing forward, not rounding up to the ceiling. And find that deep low belly breath. Inhale, come up to all fours, take your knees behind the hips. Uncurl your toes, engage your low belly. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Anchor the tops of the feet, lift the tailbone, thumbs in the chest, elbows and inhale, and finish moving. Exhale, and come in. One more like that, and then back. And then exhale. And drag your toes, come back to all fours. And then come into down facing dog. Spin your heels out here, toes in, upper inner thighs back in one. Front tip of the pelvis, typically inside each one. See if you can connect with the upper thighs and just reaching back a little more and feel the sides of your hips stretching back a little more as you do. Bending your knees if you need to, your low back lungs. Find your breath. And long in breath. And powerful out breath. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, take that left foot forward. Come back to your blocks. Reaching your right heel back, right leg forward. And one more time, take your left hand to your left hip, turn. And you look at left arm. Exhale, lower that left hand down. Step your right foot forward. Keep your hands in the blocks so make them tall. That facilitates a little more space in your spine. Feet parallel. Press your hands into the blocks and draw your spine forward. Once again, notice the position of your pelvis. If it's rounding behind you, bend your knees. Maybe add a little more length here. Good, and then from the hip crease as you exhale, fold forward. And you press the outer sides of your feet down and spin your upper inner thighs back and wide. Make as much space as you can.
one cue that you have of my doing that action, upper inner thighs back, is are my knees pointing straight ahead towards my toes. If they're knocking in, engage the outer sides of your feet and roll your upper inner thighs back one more. Take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back. As you inhale, come all the way up, stretch the fingers up, press the palms together here. Reach up from the center, space between your feet, all the way up to your knees. Use your exhale, yes, your head. And release the hands back into Tadasana. Take the arms back, the outer sides of the feet press, the heart bend. And just observe, come back into that awareness. Noticing the breath, and then noticing out breath. Noticing your body responding to each breath. Noticing any shifts that body occurring in practice. Relax the body, take your blocks, doesn't matter which side of your mat, just whatever side allows you to see best. Take your blocks in front of you. Take your feet out wide. So wide so that if you put your hands like this and you look at your ankles are under your wrists. Yep, and then take your hands out to your hips. Look at your feet, take your heels out so that the sides of your feet are parallel to the edges of your mat. And then lift your toes and stretch your toes out so the outer sides of the feet press. Take your hands to the front thighs with your thumbs inward and press the thighs back. With your thumbs, just start to come forward, press the inner thighs back. Then notice, come on back up. Notice when you do that. You're moving the pelvis forward, try to again, just start right, feel the pelvis coming forward. So move from there. Take your hands on the blocks. And inhale, find a long, flat back. I'll switch to Abhysa, wide angle forward, good. Just flat back here, find your center. So you feel balanced right and left. Good, and then shift your hips to the right and take your left hand. The right midway between your feet, so you don't have right leg. Take your right hand to the right hip and shift your hips right. Bring your awareness to the front of your left hip bone and turn it to the right. So keep looking towards the floor. So let the pelvis lead this twist. The right hip shifts right, the front of the left hip bone starts to turn to the right, and then just let the spine inhale, lengthen what is pouring out of the pelvis. And then as you exhale, take that right shoulder back and turn your chest to the ceiling. You can keep your hand on the hip, or if your shoulders are stacked, take the right hand straight out. Find a long in breath. Feel the spine lengthen. As you exhale, feel your body just start to unravel in this twist. Take a deep breath. Exhale, lower that right hand, take one hand to each block again. Hands under your wrists and your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen the spine, pour over from the pelvis, just fold inward. You can keep your hands on the blocks or take your hands to the outer ankles and hold the elbows forward. And find your breath. Now, inhale, come back to a flat back here. And finally, feeling up. So give yourself as much height as you need on the blocks so that you feel the pelvis tipping forward, the spine lengthening. Take your right hand in the middle between your feet. Now, left hand to the top. Shift your hips left. Bring your awareness to the front of your right hip bone and turn it towards your left foot. And then pause. Inhale and lengthen your spine. As you exhale, let the pelvis drive, twist to the left. Take the left shoulder back, the left elbow back, and then inhale the left arm up. Won't be if your shoulders are stacked. Find your breath here. Lengthening the spine on the in-breath. Letting your body unravel in this twist on the out-breath. Good, exhale, lower that hand down. Fold in again. Again, hands can stay in the middle, or they can use out of your blocks, or they can take your hands to the outer ankles and roll the elbows forward. You can come back and talk about that maybe like one more time. You might need this feels so good. So find your center here, press the outer sides of the feet and toes, especially shift your hips right. Take your left hand in the center and right hand up. Inhale, lengthen to that left part of your pelvis towards your right foot. Inhale, extend the spine, and exhale, take the top shoulder back, the elbow back. Inhale that right arm up. If your shoulders are not happy with that, then you can keep your hand up. Take another lengthening in breath. Just notice the subtleties of the lengthening the spine on the in breath. And your body just evolving this just on the out breath. Exhale, lower that right hand down. Fold it, bring your hands midway or to the other side of your ankles, elbows forward. Just notice what's shifting in your body as you hold the pose. And then come back to a flat back. Inhale, find that length in your spine. Shift left, right hand in the middle, left hand to the middle. Right front of your pelvis turns towards the left foot. Coil the top shoulder back, elbow back, and inhale that. And find that ripple of length in your spine and the in-breath. And the body evolving, twisting up back. And as you pull more in-breath here. Movement that's lower down, and slowly closing. Bring your hands back to the center. Inhale, come into a flat back. Press your heels in the bottom. So you have to give your hands to your hips, elbows back. And stand for a moment and Tadasana. Coming back to just noticing your ability to notice, your ability to observe. One breath. And out breath. And how the body responds to it. Back to the top of the mat, take your blocks with you. And take them on the side so that you can jump. Just take the tall behind your heels against your hips. Take your left foot back and line your arch up with the middle of your front heel. And put your hands to your hips. Press into the balls and heels of both feet, stretch the toes, and then turn your whole pelvis towards your front foot. So notice that rotation that you get in the pelvis. So with your left hand in the left front of your left hip bone, as you turn towards the front, if this finger is far behind the other middle finger, just take your left foot in left, so that both hip bones are equally forward. Press into the balls, the heels, lift and stretch the toes, and just notice here as you press the heels down the spine, it's slowly. Just so in my head, we've all trying to do just a second, because we're going to start with the between. So take your right arm, find the space between your hip bones and your ribs, and just keep it long as you reach forward. And then take your hand lightly on the block by your calf. Whatever height gives you plenty of space between your hip and your rib cage. And then invite that right elbow back, forward, the left shoulder back. And inhale the left arm. So the left hip bone is still pouring towards your right foot, but your thoracic spine between your shoulder blades, a little below that, the area of your ribs, that's turning past the hips are turning one way, thoracic spine the other way, lumbar spine not twisting out. And follow along the breath. Really exhale your hands to your hips and step out off the floor. And step your right foot down. And take your hands to your hips. Look to stretch your toes. So really connect the outer side of that back foot, especially Put the heels and balls of both feet, then relax your toes, turn your hips towards the left foot now. And notice again that the right hip go turning to the front, so take the right foot to the right if you need to, and then inhale left foot. Notice the space between your hip and your ribcage here, and from your pelvis come forward. Inhale, re-extend the spine, lightly take your hand down to that block. Inhale, re-extend the spine, right foot turning forward. As you exhale, turn the spine between your ribs up to this. Turn and turn the chest up to the ceiling. Yeah, and then inhale the right arm. Again, as you fold this triangle pose, notice the pelvis turning towards your front foot. Lumbar spine neutral, and then twisting from the area between the ribs. Heart treatment. That's a happy back twist. Take a deep breath here. You engage your low belly a little more. That will also stabilize your lumbar and your sacrum. Good. Exhale, breathing there. Breathing. Step your back foot forward. And just stand for a moment. Back into Tadasana, just noticing your body with relaxes. And at your head, this is making sense to you. And then on this twist, and that's the spine twist. And the lumbar is not happy twisting. Nor is your sacrum. So, wise use of the pelvis, which is always a wise part of your body, really is what keeps you happy and twist. So take your blocks now, down on your triangle, come into a ball triangle. Take your left foot back, but this time turn your left big toe towards the left from the mat. So your back heel is further back from the ball of your foot. In fact, if you were to compare your left foot to your left foot is turned back just 10 degrees. Just a little bit out. Turn the pelvis forward. And again, use your index fingers and the front of your hip bones to notice. Is my left hip lagging behind me? And if it is, take your foot more left. Take the elbows back. And stand up like you mean it on both heels. The toes. The toes relax, but keep the arches. But inhale, both arms up here. Look through thumbs. And find length in your spine. So that upward lift in the spine. Turn the pelvis more towards the right. Release the thumbs and reach both arms forward. See if you can just partway here, really engage your feet and turn the pelvis more towards the front foot. And then lightly bring your hands onto your blocks. To the sides of your calf. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, turn the pelvis again. And then move your left hand a little closer to your right foot. Take your right hand to the front of your right hip thigh and hip joint. And invite the right hip back and notice the left hip turn more towards your right foot. So keep that action. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, spin the ribs. Turn the heart to the ceiling. If your shoulders are stacked, take that right arm up. As you hold the pose, really use your feet pressing down and turn the pelvis towards your front foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, let your body evolve in this twist. You can take another long deep breath. Exhale, lower that hand onto the block. Come into a flat back. Parasvottanasana. So again, use your feet to turn the pelvis. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, step back, left foot forward. Press both heels downward and forward. You can check out your knees. If they're knocking in, that's telling you, press the outer sides of my feet, take the upper inner thighs back and wide as if they were a block between your legs. You'll take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back, take your time. And you can bring your eyes up and press the palms. Like upward lifting your spine. And the exhale to the spine. And knees back into your hips to their right foot back. And move it as far as you need to the right, the heel mostly back, so that you can turn both hip pointers equally forward. Take the elbows back.
Inhale, take your arms up, hip the thumbs, find that. Lift in your spine, also find the feet pressing, heels and balls and outer sides of the feet. To turn the pelvis toward your front foot. And then release the thumbs and reach partway forward. Re-engage the feet to turn the pelvis toward the front foot. Reach to the pinky side of your fingers. And then keep that length in your spine and lightly bring your hands out to your hips. Inhale, re-engage. Pelvis turn towards the front foot. Right hip turn in. And the left thigh reaching back. You take your block a little closer to the left foot. You take your left hand on your hip and invite the front of that foot back. Turn, turn, turn. Inhale, lighten the spine. Exhale, take the top shoulder back. The shoulder blades should feel like they're coming forward towards your chest. Inhale, take the top of the head. Find your breath, notice your mind. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower that knee down. Come back into a flat back here. Pelvis turning, spine lengthening. Then exhale, step your right foot forward. And your feet up parallel. Keep your hands in the blocks. Point the other step. Hold your body in. Bend your knees if you need to take the front tip to the pelvis towards the toes, not towards the ceiling. Take your hands to your hips, take your heels back in here. And all the way up, press the palms, good job. Exhale, hands to heart center. Put your hands by your side again, know this your body. That's so good. You do this. Take your hands to your hips, take your body. Use your feet to anchor. And the thighs in between the pelvis. Use your arms up, lift the thumbs, reach up. Now that lift and lengthen your spine. So when you find that lift and lengthen your spine and your pelvis is actively turning forward, you feel like your spine is kind of pouring out of the lifting up out of the pelvis. Release the thumbs, reach the palms forward. And again, heart rate down, activate your feet to turn the pelvis forward. Lightly taking your hands down. And then re-engage the feet to turn the pelvis and feel the spine here, the line out of the pelvis. Take that left hand forward. Take your right hand to your hip. And re-engage the length. Turn the pelvis first, lengthen the spine. And then exhale and turn the thoracic spine. Take the top shoulder back. Inhale the right arm. So find the integration of that the second time around. Your pelvis is turning. Your lower belly a little engaged to protect your lumbar spine. Thoracic spine actively turning. Exhale, release that hand down. Pause here with your wrist under your shoulders now. Turn the pelvis again, flat back. Let's go to this. Let's step your left foot forward. Take the elbow tips back and begin to take your hands to your hips, root the heels, and then the long way up. Press the palms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring your hands back to your hips, take your right foot back, left foot forward. You see alignment here, so take that right foot to the right if you need to, so that hip bones are completely forward. And then inhale the arms up, lift the thumbs, find that lift through your whole spine. Your pelvis is turning in the rested spine. Release them to your heart. Release them to your thumbs, small space in. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, hands slightly on your blocks. Activate your feet to turn the pelvis more towards the front foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine again. Take that right hand. Mirror to your left leg. Take the left hand to the hip and just use the hand to guide that left hip back. Feel the front right part of your pelvis turning to the left. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, spin the thoracic spine.
Yes. Engage your shoulder blades a little more toward your spine. Feel how that facilitates a deeper twist in your thoracic spine. See a little of that. Down to your box one on each side, and exhale. So that right foot forward. Now your feet parallel, press the heels. And you create the length, check in with your pelvis here. So notice again, this is my low back around, just due to how tight your low back and hamstrings are. So bend your knees as you need to. Let your pelvis just kind of fold over your thighs. Take your palms down to the back of your calves. Press palms and calves together. Roll your elbows forward. Take your hands to your hips and the elbows back. Inhale, come all the way up. Stretch through the fingers, hands press. And exhale, hands stretch. Let's do a couple of steps. Notice your body. As you do, just kind of notice what you're noticing about how your body feels. So, especially your hips feel, maybe your pelvis feels. And then come onto your mat. Now just have your blocks kind of behind you, and your blanket with the initial, we're not going to start with the blanket. But do come sitting with your feet apart. And take your, take your right leg in front of you. Actually, you might want to turn so that you're long away from your mat. So you're going to end up with both your hips and your ankles on the mat. So take your right foot in front of you so that it's, your shins parallel to the foot of the mat. And then take your hand in the flesh of the thigh and roll it to the outer side. So you're sitting on the side of the hip. And then take your left foot back. So front leg 90 degrees, back leg 90 degrees. It's just the back one is behind you. And it's okay if your back foot is off and nothing. It's just do your best to get as much of your body as you can. So front foot, you're on the little toe side of the foot. Back foot, you're on the big toe side of the foot. Take one hand on either side of the front thigh. Press the fingers down to lift your spine up. So act like you're standing up from your feet and feel your spine lift. This is a twist. You guys tell me where's it going to start from? And your pelvis. So start from your pelvis. So look straight ahead. Take your left hand to your right thigh. Pause. Pressing together. Notice your left sitting bone lift way up high. So let it lift. It needs to lift if the pelvis is beginning this twist. So press the palm, lift the spine, let the pelvis lift, but imagine, actually take your hand to your thigh here. Anchor the thigh bone down. It's going to lift, but this is your anchor pose. It's the thigh bone pressing down, but the pelvis is turning over that thigh bone. Take your hand back to the outer knee. Inhale, lift, turn the pelvis to your right as much as you can. Front tip with the left pelvis to the right. Turn, turn, turn. And then take your hands a little further out, both on your floor. And shoulder distance apart. So your palms are flat. Stand up on the sides of your feet and turn the pelvis. Again, the back thigh bone, that would be your left, is your anchor, but the pelvis is turning. So your sit bone moves a lot. So keep turning. Inhale, find length in your spine. Maybe, depending on you, maybe you walk the hands out of your hand. You come onto your forearms. And then re-engage. So press the floor with your hands, bring the hands. With the feet standing up, the thigh bone anchoring down, with the pelvis turn. You walk your hands behind you as much as it feels good to you. And then let yourself fold in as much as it feels good to you. Now find your breath deep in your low belly, the space just inside of your thumbs. And notice as you exhale your breath, you're going to just how your body responds to it. Mine goes by. Notice yours.
Start to lift your head back up and straighten your arms. And pause, re-extend your spine. And then walk your hands back in. Use your hands on your legs to bring your legs back up. Now take your left leg, your shin parallel to the front of you now. And your right leg also bent 90 degrees behind you. Take the flesh of the thigh kind of out to the side of that front leg. And then start with your hands just on the other side of your left thigh. So again, little to the side of the front foot, big to the side of the back foot, stand up on that and lift. Anchor your right thigh going downward. And then take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. And press your knee together, lift the spine and feel your right hip bone turn to your left. And try that again. Inhale with the spine, turn the right hip on the whole pelvis is turning to your left. And then walk your hands out a little bit. And press the palms, inhale, extend the spine, feel it again, the spine pouring out of the pelvis is turning to your left. And you're walking your hands around behind you just as much as it feels good to you. Find your sweet spot there. Definitely both sides are different. From arm to your elbows, that feels good. Use your hands, whatever, right over your elbows to your palms. Use your hands to turn. You can give an anchor entering the pelvis. Keep that right thigh bone dropping. And the pelvis rolling over that leg. Satisfied. Use your hands to under your legs. Now you sit this way on your mat, so your legs are on your mat. So sit facing behind your nuts. And if you sit and you notice your low back is going behind you, then take your blanket and sit up on it. You keep your hands next to your hips. Feet widening the hips. Press your finger pads and heels down. Roll forward on your sitting bones. So again, lumbar spine is coming a little bit forward. And then take both hands behind your right knee and bend it up. Draw the heel in and give yourself enough space. Like I have two fists. Enough space so your torso is going to fit in between your straight leg and your bent knee. Take your hands to the front of the bent knee. And slide your, you take your hands like this, slide your right leg over. You want that sitting bone a little more forward, yeah. And then take your right arm up. You come forward and connect your upper right arm with the inside of your thigh. A little tug of war ensues. So between your arm and your leg. So let it land so that your knee lands over your ankle with your arm and leg pressing together. Take this hand back to the outer side of your thigh. So straight up, lift up. Now you should feel your right sitting bone floating a little bit. It needs to in order for the pelvis to twist. So let the right sitting bone lift. Take your left hand a little back. Remember, we're starting with the pelvis, not the head. So you want straight ahead. And then start to turn your pelvis to the left. Use the tug of war action. To get a little more lift in your spine. And then as you walk the left hand back and put the left elbow back, that's where the thoracic spine twist comes in, and it's like a little baby back bend in the upper back. And find your breath. And stand up on that right heel, the left heel. Right sitting bone lift, pelvis turn. Let your body respond with your breath. So a little deeper in the twist as you exhale, and a little taller in the spine as you inhale. And then you take one more inhale. Back to the center. Take that out. And sit with your hands right side, tall again. And you go like that. And then give yourself feeling space. You don't have to this distance. So the heel is either lined up with your sitting bone or to the side of it. And then line lift, slide your straight leg a little more forward. And then take your left arm. That can maybe take the left foot a little more up, yeah. And then come forward. And you connect the upper arm with the inner thigh. And then re-extend the spine. So you have on both heels, re-extend the spine. Now your left sitting bone should be floating. So let it lift and turn the front of your left pelvis to the right. Keep your arms pressing together. Walk your right hand over back. And inhale, re-extend the spine. And as you exhale, point the elbow back. Draw the shoulder blades towards the chest. You feel that twisting of the thoracic spine. So pelvis is turning left. Spine is lifting. And your upper back is like a little back bend. And just notice your breath here, your body responding as you feel the shoe. Extend both legs, keep your hand next to your knees. Just lightly pressing the fingers down, turn the spine up, notice your body, and just notice what you notice. I take the right leg out again, but this time you get close to the left leg. So let it in snug, drive your spine out. And then take your left arm up, reach forward, and then just hug the knee. Take your right hand behind you, look straight ahead. So right here, as you lift up, your right sitting bone lifts, right? So let it lift for a moment, inhale, lift up. Now as you exhale, turn your pelvis to the right, and then your right sitting bone roots down, and your left sitting bone starts to lift. So just focus on that move of the pelvis as you turn it to the right. Now your left sitting bone might not be off, your cheeks might not be off the floor, but the sitting bone is still there. So allow that to happen. Take a deep in breath here, and lengthen your spine. As you exhale, coil that right elbow back, shoulder blades deep into the chest. And start to turn a little more deeply. So trusting your body and letting it respond with each breath, but actively standing up on both feet. Actively turning your pelvis to the right. And actively engaging the shoulder blades in and the heart out. And take one more breath here. And good. See, I'll come back to the center. And extend that out. And bring the other one. That'll be your left. Now, pick it in snug, close to your leg. And you roll forward and you're sitting bones, tighten and lift up. You can inhale, lift the right arm up, come forward, and take hold of the front of the knee with your left hand behind you. And notice initially here, as you inhale, lift, and hug your thigh towards your chest, your left sitting bone lifts. So let that happen. And then as you exhale, start to turn from the pelvis, that left sitting bone roots, and the right one starts to lift. So turn as much as you can from the pelvis first, and then start to walk your left hand to the right, pull the elbow back, lift the heart up, and use your shoulder blades to get deep in breath here. Keep turning, keep breathing. Let your body guide you. So staying active by rooting, standing up on both feet, turning the pelvis to the left. Drawing the shoulder blades in, little knee, upper back bend here. See, back to the finish. And you legs, pause and notice, both heels pressing. Your spine lifting. Your body moving. Invite your legs up. Now come lying on your mat. You just need to slide on that little forward so you need to fall. And then watch for a second before you do this one. This is going to be a little different than how we've done this in the past. You're going to start with your legs extended. You're going to slide your right heel a little longer than your left. Your arms by your side, and you tip that right foot straight up to the ceiling. From the pelvis, I'm gonna turn the whole body to the left, keeping my right arm with me. So from the pelvis turning, I wanna lift and turn, so I'm on the front of my greater trochanter, which is the bony knot that connects your thigh bone to your hip bone. So don't feel like you're sitting on the bone going from that. So the pelvis is turning and the whole body turns. So then I keep that turn in the pelvis, and to unravel the thoracic spine, I take this top hand to the shoulder and then lengthen the spine and turn, 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 turn. Only if this arm bone approaches the floor, don't worry about extending that elbow, hand on the shoulder is fine. Okay, so come on to your backs. Take your arms out like a T, so that you can fall instead of shoulder height. And extend your legs out long. And then just find your center here. Feel your heels pressing down, your thighs engaged. And then slide your right heel a little longer than your left. And keeping that, take your right leg straight up. So foot is standing in the ceiling. And then turn from the pelvis to the left. Take your right arm with you. So your right palm meets the left. Lift the left hip a little bit so you're sitting in the front of your joint. And then pause here. So big toe side of your right foot press, little toe side of your left foot press. Inhale, lengthen the spine, keep your pelvis turning left, and then take your right hand to your right shoulder. Re-extend the spine, keep your feet engaged, and then start to turn the thoracic spine to the right. Your pelvis is turning left. With that right arm bone is approaching the floor, you can extend the right arm, you can also keep your right hand on your shoulder. Find your breath here, your gaze is at the ceiling. So as you inhale, just feel the whole spine lengthen again, like it's pouring out of the pelvis. And as you exhale, pelvis is turning left. And thoracic spine is turning right. Another deep breath in. And then as you exhale, take that right hand back to the left, bend both knees. Bring both feet flat on the floor. And come back into one side, your back with your knees split. Find your center here. And take your arms out like a T again. You send both legs straight. Press the heels down, find your length. And then slide that left heel a little forward to the right. And then lift that left leg up. From the pelvis, turn to the right, taking that left hand with you so your palms join. And then roll to the front of your bottom leg joint. And stand up on both feet, inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, slide that left hand to your left shoulder and start to turn the thoracic spine to the left. Use your breath, each in breath, a little lengthen the spine. As you exhale, standing up on both feet, the pelvis is turning to the right. The thoracic spine is turning to the left. Maybe that left hand extended feels good to you. Maybe keeping your arms shoulder feels good. So both feet are on the floor. You're standing up on the big toe side of your left foot, little toe side of your right foot. You find your breath, notice your body. The gaze is just at the ceiling. Take another deep breath into this delicious pose. And then as you exhale, take that left hand to the right, bend both knees. Come back onto your back so if you need bent. And now take whatever props you'd like for Shavasana. I'm going to do one more pose before you settle in, but feel like a blanket under your head, your knees, have them ready, an eye pillow for your eyes. And then come back into this shape, once you have everything set up as you like it. So with your knees bent, drop your chin towards your chest. With the back of your neck lengthen. And then draw your knees to your chest, keep your chin tucked, keep the back of the neck long. And coil your elbows towards your chest as much as it feels good to you. You can have your hands on your chins or on the back of your arms. And just keep tucking in. And find your low belly and breathe into that space. And then as you exhale slowly, bring your feet back onto them. Take your hands to the front of your hip bones here. Just your palms right up in your hip bones. And anchor your hands into the front of your hip bones and feel the back of your pelvis now. Now it's facing the lower part of your sacrum. Just feel that connected to the floor. Keeping that connection, release your hands by your sides, take your eye pillows, your blankets, wherever you like them. And then extend one leg at a time. And settle back into Shavasana. Letting your eyes close. Allow your back teeth to part in the tip of your tongue to rest behind your front teeth. Come back into awareness of your breath. And your body responding to your breath. Notice each in-breath. Notice each out-breath. Notice your body responding to each in-breath and each out-breath. And then become aware of your ability to notice your body, your breath, each in-breath, each out-breath. Landing in that space of awareness, just noticing. Slowly begin to bring a hint of awareness to your outer body. Just feeling the touch of it on your skin. Hearing the sounds around you. And gently bring one hand to rest in your belly, one hand to rest in your heart. And feeling breath in your body. Your body responding to your breath. And gently bend one knee up and then the other. Then roll to your side, resting for a few breaths. Use your hands for support, letting your head come up last as you guide yourself back into a seated position. Finding that way of sitting where your spine is tall, your shoulders are soft. And do your palms up, just considering an intention for yourself related to Abhysa, devoted practice. Elevate consciousness, your ability to be aware. And then mindfully bring your hands to opportunity, to seal with intention. And now with a sense of gratitude that you have made yourself. Namaste. Namaste.